Welcome to the Does This Happen to You podcast, where we explore the funny side of truth is stranger than fiction stories. Our story this week is from the book Stripped Down, A Naked Memoir by Stacey Keith. Check it out on Amazon.com. I'm at a bar on Sunset Boulevard, some rancid, festering dish rag called Le Dome. The floor is sticky, probably from sloshed bourbon and ejaculate, and if the chain-smoking hyena sitting next to me goes to the ladies' room to snort up one more line, I'm going to get a contact high. Everybody told me this was a major Hollywood hotspot, and since Bets is in town, I decided to take a weekend off from hell and show her a good time. Not that I would know a good time if it bit me in the ass, but I've got an idea that it must look a little bit like a beer commercial, right? But I've forgotten how to laugh. I need to keep reminding myself that I'm having fun. Bets orders a Bloody Mary with a big fluffy celery garnish. I've got my customary Diet Coke. The place smells like hops, cigarettes, and chronic desperation. So, how do you know the phone number on Zach's hand actually belonged to a chick? She takes a crunchy bite of celery stalk and points the leafy end toward me. Why don't you just sack up and ask him? He'd only lie about it. I've got to pretend I don't know so I can start watching what he's up to. Ah, bullshit. No way he's going to leave something like that on his hand. He'd write it down and wash it off. I give Bets a pitying smile, wondering if I should tell her what a dipshit Zach is. Last week, he and Taylor threw their surfboards on top of Zach's truck, and in their fragrant cannabis cloud, forgot to strap them down. By the grace of whatever God watches over stoners, they didn't kill anybody. But both boards flew up in the air on Pacific Coast Highway and snapped like toothpicks. I chase the ice around in my soda and wonder what Zach is doing. He's supposed to be at home nursing Moon Pie right now because he made the dog massively ill by stuffing her full of donuts. Not even my daily 2-mile walk can save the poor creature from obesity. She resembles meatloaf with a head. Sometimes Zach drives through McDonald's and buys her an ice cream cone, which she laps at frantically, her eyes bugged out like shiny brown marbles. It occurs to me that I've got a dog with a weight problem, a cheating boyfriend, and my bookings are down because I don't munch carpet and can't get my stubbornly untalented vagina to do a 6-gun salute. What was supposed to be my Hollywood victory lap has officially turned into a pathetic roll around an empty racetrack in a creaky wheelchair. I never understood why you moved right in with Zach anyway, Bet says. You barely knew the guy. Yeah, well, hindsight's always 20/20. Sliding a glance at the hyena, I mutter, I've got to pee so bad. Do I dare go to the bathroom? Bet shrugs. If I were you, I'd just let it run down my leg. I pry myself off the bar stool, heels sticking to the floor with a juicy thwack, thwack. A clutch of disreputable-looking musician types stare hungrily at me as I duck into the bathroom. One of them is lurking in the hallway when, a few minutes later, I re-emerge. He's tall and dark-haired and tatted up. Not handsome by any means. In fact, he's pale enough to make me wonder what might happen if someone drove a stake through his heart. But he's compelling in a way that's hard to pinpoint, and he has the lanky build that almost always goes with being formidably hung. My vanity has taken such a mauling lately. I find myself coyly looking at him when he says, "Hi." He digs his hands in his jeans pockets. I know I've seen him before, but where? "Listen," he says, "we're about to blow out of here. Maybe go to this club. Come with me." He expects me to say yes. I haven't spoken one word to the guy. I know if I were solid with Zach, I wouldn't even be tempted. I'm here with a friend, I explain. He cracks a smile. Bring her. I hurry over to Bets, who's waiting for me with one eyebrow arched, and my soles are going thwack, thwack, thwack again, like pieces of flypaper being ripped from the floor. What did he say to you? She asks. That guy invited us to go clubbing. That guy? Bets stares at me. Do you have any idea who that guy is? No, but he's kind of hot, don't you think? Sort of. That's Tommy Lee, you dingbat. You know, Motley Crue, the drummer. He's a serial dater of big boob blondes. I'm not put off by this. I should be, but I'm not. At least somebody wants me. Feeling very grand, like I'm offering her a present, I say, You wanted a good time, right? Well, here it is. Huh? Wish I'd dressed better. If we play our cards right, it won't matter what you're wearing because it's going to end up on the floor anyway. I don't know the name of this club, only that it's packed and there's a line around the block that we managed to get waved through. Tommy's got a proprietary arm around my waist, and I'm getting this fuck you vibe from every girl I see. Their hatred is an almost physical force. And for what? The privilege of having some drunk rock star who could arguably get any woman to suck his dick choose me? I should be flattered. And I am, in a way, but mostly I'm scared. For one, the guy is way drunker than I realized. Two, he doesn't actually talk to me. His buddies, yes, who are all shorter, shaggier, tattier versions of himself. But I'm apparently just supposed to stand there and look hot. He does tell me that I have the fucking most royal tits he's ever seen. With compliments like those, a guy could really sweep a girl off her feet. Inside the club, all I see is an ocean of heads. Some are bobbing to the music, so I guess there must be a dance floor somewhere. Two girls are making out on the bar, which I resent because all it does is remind me of the squirter and her accomplice. Yawn. I feel like telling them to give it up. Lesbian shows are so 5 minutes ago. But the faux cynicism doesn't make me feel any less threatened and insecure. The lights pulse in time to the beat. Some moron grabs my ass as he squeezes by. Tommy laughs. In Texas, any man worth his Stetson would have tracked that guy down and socked him in the jaw. We go to a corner that's roped off. The crowd is thinner here and better heeled. Everyone's drinking spooky blue beverages in margarita glasses. Those drinks look radioactive, but starlets and models and dates of the minute, like me, sip daintily and pretend not to notice that I'm standing there with my boobs. Bet settles over. I am so out of here. What? My voice sleds up an octave. Don't leave me. Sorry, can't do this. Why? The noise, the scene, the stupid drinks. I'll just meet you later down in the car. You going to sit there all night? I'll go shopping. Some of the stores on Sunset are still open. Then I'll go sit in the car. Bets doesn't give me a chance to argue. Forlornly, I watch her disappear into the crowd. Where's your friend going? Tommy asks. I'm startled that he spoke to me. She doesn't like it here. Do you want to go somewhere else? She wouldn't like it there either. Want a drink? I'm good. Seriously. Let me get you a drink. Really, I'm fine. Did you just get out of rehab? Do I bother explaining? Yeah, that's it. No shit. So what's your name? I tell him, noticing how he's angled closer. Alcohol oozes from every pore, not unpleasant, but enough to make me wary. His eyes are shiny and black. Unsettling. He leans down to kiss me, and somehow there's a wall to my back and nowhere to run. The kiss is experienced, seductive, but wholly uninspiring. One hand goes to my breasts. I feel nothing. Just a kind of frozen terror that I'll let myself get talked into something I don't really want. I think about moon pie. I think about Zach. I'm supposed to be into Tommy, playing the game, hell, winning the game. I'm supposed to want to get my photo in the gossip rags and then sit back and field calls from casting directors. And all I can think about is my dumb dog and even dumber boyfriend, mostly because I'm a no-life pathetic loser who's circling the toilet faster than a dead roach. I need to make a phone call, I tell Tommy. Sure, he says, but I can tell he's not buying it. I rush off to find a quiet place to use my phone. By the ladies' room, I upend my purse and paw through tampons and lipstick, frantically searching for my cell. Zach picks up on the second ring and gives me a groggy, "Hey, babe." So he wasn't out screwing some girl after all. My heart swells with absurd relief. "You and Bet's having a good time?" he asks. "No. How's Moon Pie?" Away from the receiver, Zach coos, "You want to say hello to Mama?" Now something that sounds like a wet snout snuffling, followed by maybe a lick or two. I have an insane urge to cry. "Miss you," he says. "I wish you were in bed next to me." I close my eyes and take a fortifying breath. I wonder if I'll regret this decision, the big fish I threw back. Another girl, a smarter girl, would be living in a mansion with Tommy. Or another Tommy. Fungible rock stars with their fungible pussy. But I keep trying to make sense of this thing. Give it meaning. Make it real. Despair feels like a dark, smothering hand. But in my haste, I push the emergency exit door and set the alarms wailing. When Bets and I get back to the condo, Zach is asleep. I pull the futon out for her and decide to take my fat, donut-eating dog for a walk. Before going back into the bedroom to wake her, I remember that Zach left the dog's leash in his truck, so I steal down to the parking lot and grope around the front seat, finding a lighter, a pack of rolling papers, amusingly typical, and a big chandelier earring that isn't mine. My skin goes cold. I refuse to believe it. Can't believe it. I pulled an earring out of his truck seat. I see the thing dangling from my outstretched hand. Something this loud and obnoxious would not go unnoticed if it slipped out of an earlobe. It must have been planted here by someone who wanted me to find it. No, that's impossible. Besides, Zach wouldn't cheat on me. I'm a magazine model, I tell myself, as though it really mattered. He's nothing more than a dope-smoking, longboard-riding, overgrown gym rat who got to trade way up when he met me. I fucking support the guy. The earring catches the light like it's mocking me, and still my mind scrambles for explanations. If he's banging anyone, it must be that bag of whore from Squirtworks. The realization winds up for the punch, then delivers it solidly in my solar plexus. Zach prefers her to me? That cheesy dimpled ass to one that's graced hundreds of glossy magazine pages? If Zach is cheating, does that mean I'm deficient in some way? Does that mean I'm not enough? Not even for the likes of him? Okay, wait. Maybe he bought these earrings and accidentally shoved them down the seat. I jam my hand again and again below, getting nothing for my trouble except fingernails full of grit. No mate to the earring, not even an earring card. There is, however, the torn cellophane of a condom wrapper. We don't use condoms. I gaze blindly out the windshield. Cars zoom past. Anguish burns the insides of my throat, my wrists, my stomach. No one's ever cheated on me before, not that I know of. It feels like an acid bath. I keep churning through possible explanations for the condom wrapper and the earring, but deep down, I know they're nothing more than a pathetic attempt to slap my hands over my eyes so I don't have to see the truth. What am I supposed to do? March upstairs, snatch off the covers, and scream at Zach to get the hell out? Do I wait until tomorrow to discuss, maturely and with painstaking diplomacy, that I know? I have no idea. It's the curse of California, my personal land of reckoning. Even my mother suffered in this benighted state. While she lay in the hospital struggling to give birth to me, my dad serenaded women around the apartment pool with his guitar. Men didn't go to the hospital back then. Mere days after my mom came home with me swallowed in a pink blanket, Dad lit out. He wasn't ready for fatherhood, he told her. Guess it's hard to chase pussy when there's a baby crying. With awful clarity, I see how my fear of being alone, the way my mother was goaded me into having a relationship with Zach in the first place. Do I even love him? Maybe I'm too damaged to recognize love. All I know is I'm staggering under the burden of supporting our lifestyle while Zach lays around and plays around. Fuck him. I rip the earring apart, then stab the earring hook into his fabric upholstery where he will be sure to see it. That's right, asshole. I know. After storming out of the truck, I turn around and slam the door on a flare of intense satisfaction. What I need is Zach's screwdriver. I snatch from his toolbox. It gleams in my fist like a promise. With strength I never knew I had, I plunge the screwdriver into his front left tire and wish with all my might that it had been his lying fucking face. I can't bear the thought of going upstairs, so I walk down to the beach. Now it's just me and the stark loneliness of the wind, the rhythmic lapping of the water, the muffled roar of the wind. Chances are I'm not the only heartsick woman standing at the water's edge this very moment, but it sure feels that way. I don't want Zach to leave. I don't want to go through the bleak despair of losing him. Yet I can't bear the thought of not leveling the playing field, of not exacting my revenge. Why didn't I sleep with Tommy Lee when I had the chance? 3 hours ago, Zach felt like home, but in truth, home turned out to be a house of cards. The man I thought Zach was, stone, sexy, but basically trustworthy, is in fact a worthless, self-indulgent douchebag who couldn't commit to his left hand if his right hand had lube in it. The Malibu Pier looms out of the darkness ahead. At night, I'm usually afraid of the pier, but not now. When you've taken a hard punch to the gut, what else is there to scare you? A kind of cool detachment settles over me. I know that if I confront Zach about the affair, he will most likely end it. Given the choice between pussy and surf, surf will win. But why confront him? Why not just go out and even the score? If Zach thinks he can win this game, he is dead fucking wrong. As I wander through the eerie forest of creaking pier beams, I compile a mental list of guys I'm going to sleep with. Someone with status, someone who's hot, someone with an absolutely massive dick. The thought gives me a warm sense of cold satisfaction. Thanks for listening. I'm Kris Kepler, and I hope you enjoyed listening to these stories as much as I enjoyed narrating them. I'd love for more people to hear these wonderful stories, so please share and tell your friends.